Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to ask the same question a certain detective asked in the movie 7. What's in the box? But before we have a closer look at this, let's take a look at my Patreons and thank them for supporting this channel. Also, I say thank you to all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Furthermore, please check out my other channel, link to it in the description. Now with that said, Albedo, after traveling to the Kingdom of Re-Esitze, came with a couple of missions, at least from her perspective, and one of them was preparing Renner, after Demiurge had already made sure that she was a suitable candidate for serving the Great Tomb of Nezarec and the wider Sorcerer Kingdom. And Albedo was delighted that Demiurge was right, and that all of this was true, and that Renner had betrayed her family, bloodline, and her nation in general, despite understanding good and evil and the difference between the two, and that her deeds, her many betrayals, all for the sake of heteromorph invaders, would be viewed as morally wrong and evil by everyone around her. Renner, who again understood the difference between right and wrong and the concept of good and evil, simply didn't care. She calmly worked towards her goal, which is of course climb in general and certain parts of him in particular. This determination was also noticed by Albedo, who compared the Golden Princess to a heteromorph in spirit, a high compliment coming from the normally lower life form hating Albedo, who was even worried what other members of Nezarec would think about her being concerned for a mere human. But since she had bigger plans for Renner, that is to turn her into a subordinate of the Sorcerer Kingdom and of her personally, Albedo still found the reaction justified. Now with that said, Renner was planning the downfall of Re-Esitze from the inside out, and while Albedo had thought about giving her more resources, aka troops at hand to facilitate this internal betrayal, the Floor Guardian Overseer saw it also as a test of the abilities of Renner, and if Renner would succeed, then the Golden Princess would be elevated to a position akin to that of an Area Guardian within the Great Tomb of Nezarec. And this was also another aspect of why Albedo found it permissible to be ever so slightly worried about Renner. And just like Floor Guardians are in charge and guardians of an entire floor of the Great Tomb of Nezarec, Area Guardians are subordinates to Floor Guardians and in charge of only specific areas of a certain floor and the monsters and mechanics within them. For example, Guren, the Magma Slime, Neuronist Painkill, and the youngest of the Pleiades, Aureole Omega, are all Area Guardians. And this position is not dependent on strength but on ranking also. For example, the only level 35 victim is in charge of the 8th floor, while Aureole Omega is just in charge of the Cherry Blossom Sanctuary, despite being the strongest of the Pleiades and at level 100. So Renner would be basically part of the Great Tomb of Nezarec at this point. And that's where the spoiler warning begins, because what was truly in the box has only been shown in the 14th novel. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to all of my Patreons for supporting this channel. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.